Welcome everyone to this AMA episode 3. So today we will have Sei Network, GameFi.org, Gamer Networks, and also Arcade Hunter. Today we will have a fantastic lineup from our experts of some leading Web3 projects to discuss about the topics what defines a healthy Web3 games. Thank you all for joining us today. So we will have some introducing from our panelists. So first of all, I want to introduce Steven. Steven is representing for Nika Labs and also Arcade Hunter, a game that created by Nika Labs. Hi, Steven. Can you share a little bit about yourself and things you are doing in Arcade Hunter right now?
Yeah, sure, Tim. So let me introduce a little bit about myself first. So I'm Steven, and currently I'm a founder of Nika Labs. And currently we build and we plan to release the first of game, and published by Sei Network. That's the Hunter. Yeah, and it would be great. We'll be there. And in the past, just want to share a little bit. In the past, I'm a co-founder of Gaffin also, and Gaffin is the Web3 gaming publisher. And in the past, we have made success a little bit, like have the gaming project. They can grow the transaction, transaction, and use the rest also. And we have experience to publish 50 Web3 games also. Yeah, and in here today we found the news our project with the new vision and directly for original Web3 gaming IP. And yes, it would be great if we can run the agenda in this month for the community also. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Steven. And the second panelist will be Tamer Kid from Gamer Network. So Tamer have been joined our AMA for the second time. Can you introduce about yourself and how?
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Hi,
Tamer.
Of course. Hey, pleasure to be here. Thank you guys. Always fun. Briefly about me, Tamer, CMO slash CVDO of Gamer Network. We're interoperability layer that enables the seamless and smart contractless communication between any blockchain to any blockchain and between all financial centralized ecosystems to any decentralized financial ecosystem. Basically, we're unifying all of the financial systems and in general decentralized and centralized system, not only financial, together in a completely decentralized manner with no smart contracts, with no intermediaries. Completely revolutionary. We're backed by MasterCard, FinSec, Big Brain, Blockchain, etc., etc., etc. Some nice names behind us. Incubated by ChainGPT. For transparency, also investment director of ChainGPT Labs. And yeah, that's who I am and what we do. Looking forward to having lots of fun here, guys. Let's kick it off.
Thank you, Tamer. I know that Gamer's Network currently has many important milestones coming up. For example, like TGE, the collaborations with ChainGPT. So I hope that can hear some great updates from you by later. Okay, so and here we go. We have Jason, the global gaming lead from Sei Foundations, and I used to join the Sei Network AMA like few weeks ago, but this probably the first time to have Sei on the Nika Labs AMA. Hi, Jason. Can you share a little bit about Sei Foundations, aka Sei Network, and some of the things you are doing right now?
Hey guys, so happy to be here. My name is Jason, currently the Global Gaming Lead at Sei Foundation. So, I mean, if you guys haven't noticed, over the past 3 months, Sei have been going very aggressively, into gaming. So for those who didn't know about Sei Network, we are actually the first parallelized EVM, right? And we also, the fastest chain to have the shortest time to finality, right? So that basically means that, we are technically the fastest chain, right? And I mean, gaming has been growing so much, on Sei, that we have more than 20 game studios right now, of course with like Arcade Hunter and all that's currently building on Sei. And, our vision is basically to have like, a very cohesive ecosystem whereby, games are meant for everybody, right? We are not going to focus on like, just like a AAA or mid-tier games, but rather we are going to have like, hyper casual, mini games, mobile FPS and all kind of games, right? Generally a chain whereby, we will have all kind of developers, coming to say organically, to look for, a good tech. And of course, with the founding team as well, we definitely give very good support, when it comes to partnering with the games that's building on Say, to help them succeed in the ecosystem. I guess this is one of the key difference right now, if you look at Say, when compared to other blockchains out there. Yeah. Happy to be here.
Yes, thank you for sharing, Jason. So finally, we will have Garfield from is the head committee of GameFi.org. So this is also the first time of Garfield to join the AMA today, and GameFi is our very close partner. We have been working for a long time ago, but probably this is the first time we have the AMA together. Hi, Garfield. Can you share some things about this AMA today?
Yeah, so good afternoon, everyone. And on behalf of our team, I'm Gabriel, head of community at GameFi.org. And first of all, I want to express my appreciation to the to you guys and all the participations here today for organizing such an impactful space event. All right. Let's talk a bit about GameFi.org, and we functions as the ideal launchpad and a great way to the exciting world of Web3 gaming services. And as a launchpad, GameFi.org have proven ourselves as one of the best launchpad in the market since 2021. And the next one, we created something remarkable called Game World, which is a hub of games that covers nearly all the data in the GameFi market. Then these features provide a wealth of information and of the various GameFi projects on the market, and it includes both on-chain and off-chain data analysis, along with the weekly reports that are freely to be accessed to all of you. And the final one, we creating the game islands, and these are the playgrounds that the users can easily explore and interact with the different products. And for instance, we currently have the Oasis Navy available, which is one of our partner in Japan, and we have plans for two more this year. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Garfield. And I'm really excited to hear from our best panelists about the insights on the topics of this AMA today. So the topic will be what defines a healthy Web3 games. And so let's dive into the discussions, okay? So there is some of the key features that defines a healthy Web3 gaming. For example, like the role of Web3 technology, the DeFi protocols, or the game design. So let's start with the first general questions. So how do you guys define a healthy Web3 games, and what is the specific features or the mechanics contribute to this? So I think these questions will be for Jason first, because you are the gaming lead of Safe Foundation. So you have many insights about the Web3 games and how you can define healthy games. Okay, let's start with Jason.
I mean, to start off, right, just want to say that this is my own view. So my definition of a healthy game ecosystem is a game doesn't rely on tokens to sustain, the whole ecosystem, right? Like generally right now, if a game relies on TGE, IDO, whatever you want to call it, to raise, to build a game or even to sustain, the game, I don't think that's very healthy, right? I think the way to balance out the whole ecosystem is to find, the right loop to reward the users, right? Because if you look at it, majority of the Web3 users right now, especially those who play games, right, you are already, anticipating and earn out of it, right, when you play a game. So how do you actually balance, this portion? And actually, this is actually an easy fix, right? I personally don't believe that, a game should be rewarding their tokens with liquidity, to the players who play the game, right? Because game, as you guys have known for, the past decades or whatnot, right? It's meant for entertainment, right? It's meant for people to actually spend in the game itself. And it's actually meant for something that, the developer should, actually make revenue or monetize out of it, depending on how you want to put it, right? So if you want to keep a healthy and balanced ecosystem when it comes to Web3 games, first thing, right? Don't focus too much on the tokens. Focus more on your gameplay And then of course, when you talk about like rewarding the players, actually Web2 and Web3 aspect is actually the same thing, right? The only difference is that Web3, when you reward the players, there has an opportunity for them to basically, convert their NFTs into, liquidity or something like that. So if you look at it, say for example, if you run like a leaderboard system on seasonal basis, right? Like let's say if you're running a tournament or whatnot, instead of like, giving out tokens, which is, what people have always been anticipating, why not give out NFTs, right? And NFTs can basically, have different kind of like value, right? That is perceived or like being determined by the community themselves. And then of course, people who see the same values, then want to sell it for or purchase it, right? For something better, right? So I personally believe that this is how a healthy Web3 gaming ecosystem should be like, and we shouldn't rely too much on like, using tokens, to bring hype, or even like, having like farm to airdrop, engage to airdrop, play to airdrop, whatever you want to call it, right? Because you're going to draw in, different kind of users. So yeah, that's my take.
Okay, thanks, Jason, for your insight. So this is the questions for Tomer. So I know that you're really interested in the DeFi aspects of the Web3 games. So what is your point of view of in healthy games? For example, like we can evaluate the games by the tokenomics, the economics of the tokens in the game, something like that. So what's your idea about unhealthy Web3 games?
So I will even share a tiny secret. And first of all, this is a very, very interesting question that I've been facing actually a lot in my previous life, let's say. I'm not sure how many here knows me or no, but I was also CMO and CBDO of Cryptomon, which is probably one of the first play to earn back in the day games that were launched on a BNB chain. I think we were like the third on BNB chain back in the day. Project, of course, exists until today. Came on, which is Pink Moon Studios. So I've started as their angel investor, then became the CMO CBDO. I left more over a year ago, but built everything with them from the ground up there. And we moved, of course, very quickly from play to earn to play and earn. We were the first actually to coin that term. Also wrote about it an article for Telegraph, if you guys are interested to Google it, so you can check it out. But kind of the answer that I want to give is already within what I just hinted about. Regarding tokenomics, so a project that does not have, first of all, if you ask me, and I don't want to ruin the party for everyone, but I think that play to earn is a Ponzi scheme, and it would basically is doomed to fail. I am not a believer of play to earn. It's proved as failing many, many times, and I saw it through the last 3 years, but I'm a big fan of play and earn. So to simplify, basically what this amazing blockchain technology enables us to do is to tokenize digital assets and to allow people to own them. So tokenization and digital asset ownership in an immutable manner allows us to own our game characters, our in-game currencies, of course, which is the most important thing. And by that creates scarcity, which brings it to a point that it's real esports ready sport, a game, right? Because you cannot pay to win. You can maybe pay to progress. But again, resources are quite scarce. Now, the right model to build a game that is indeed sustainable is a model that you see the releases happening over years and starts like with very low supply. Supply needs to be mostly owned by the community, needs to be distributed to the community with stakings, with staking rewards, with a foundation that is strong enough in order to sustain, a gaming community that thrives and grows for years to come. Unfortunately, most of the models that you will see in the market, you will see that they're very short-lived. You will see that, most of the circulating supply is going to enter the market and within 3 years. Unlocks for the ones who have interest are usually quite short, which of course we'll know what happens then in these cases, and it prevents the growth of the gamers community in these situations. Main thing in a game is, of course, taking care of your community of players who are the ones who are the seed and the anchor of the whole game experience itself. And in order to create a strong seeded community, you need to have very, very strong tokenomics or enabling long-term value and growth in terms of the value the token holds. And it can only be done by adding deflationary mechanisms that are integral part of the tokenomics itself. A tokenomics for game works very differently than normal tokenomics. Guys, I'm already taking too much time to discuss about this, but games tokenomics have a whole different dynamics than normal project tokenomics, right? Because chains, you have coins you need, to stake, coins to operate a validator, and every transaction requires gas getting paid with coins. In games, everything that runs within the game should run within the game's currency, right? So the game's currency should be available enough and scarce enough in order to be able to games to become real, to provide, real esports experience, and in order to provide real value to the holders now and in the future. Games should focus first on creating a game, and then focus on launching a token, if you ask me. And the main problem with GameFi is that most are focusing on raising money for a token, taking care of the token pumps and the graphs and listings and investors and fundraising, and then think about how to create the game that they promised everyone. So from my humble experience, 3 years in the GameFi industry, I'd say that first, before everything, a game needs to be created, the game needs to be fun, the game needs to have an awesome experience. Tokenomics behind it should be smart, should have a long-term view, and should focus on community first, guys, and not devs first, in order to generate long-term value. Tokenization should be the means to an end for the teams to build the game, and not the means for the teams to become rich overnight, which is something that unfortunately we all suffered a lot from in the previous cycle. Sorry for taking so much time, but you touched a point that is very dear to me, very close to me, and it happens to have some
Yes,
experience with.
I think you are a real OG game developers, right? So before you join DeFi projects like Kima, you have a really deep insight, and you have built the real OG Web3 games. So when you mentioned about the concept of play to earn, I think that's totally agree that it should be changed into a play and earn, because that's what game developers should follow. Because we should evaluate gamers by how they play and contribute, not like a pay to win model. Okay, how about Gaffo? So I think that you have seen over more than 100 GameFi projects when you are representing GameFi.org. So what factors do you usually evaluate a healthy game project?
In the previous time, I would say like a sustainable economy would contribute a lot to the like a healthy Web three. Like for example, certain tokenomics and everything with the meaningful users for tokens. But at the moment, I would say that community and users and players would like play the most important role in the the health of a Web3 game. Like for example, our like in GameFi.org, our like slogan is that the community always comes first. So like for the in my opinion, my personal opinion, to a Web3 game, a game should be like fun at the core. The game need to be like first and foremost like enjoyable for the players, for the users, because like no one stick around for boring and like repair, like for boring gameplay, and even more when it is on blockchain. So the Web3 features should make the game better, not like the only reasons that the people like trying to be involved in the game. And the reward, without the pay to win trap. Like it's important that the players who invest time and skill are like rewarded fairly. Like you don't want a system like where deep pockets automatically win, and if the game's balanced, and it will like build trust and keep the users like coming back over and over again. And you can imagine that using a same game, I'm sorry, an NFT or like equipment, like or in-game items in the different games, or like even across the ecosystem, and that is a big win for the players and helps to create a sense of value beyond like just one game. And a strong community and governance, that will like a healthy Web3 games involves the users in every decisions. I'm sorry, most of the decision. The users will always want they feel like they want to be like heard. They want like their idea, their thoughts to be appreciated, and whether like they through like the community like feedback, we're letting the users, the players to say make them like feel like they are a part of the game. And like the social mechanics that stick the games, make the game like always be better when they can play with friends. The features like creating guilds or like referral programs or cooperate events will like help a lot in like boosting the engagement, and like they will also help to build the loyalty like between the users and the project also. So the users always like want to stick around for the community, that they not just like be a part of it, they contribute into it, like they build, like they always feel like they are like be a part of the game, like they are also building the game, not just the core team. And we could encourage the creativity. We will let the users to create the content like the UGC, or like they could like customize the experience that keeps everything like fresh. For example, the things that Roblox and like Decentraland are trying to do. So when the players feel like they own the part of the game culture, it becomes like more than just another title. They will take the pride of it, and they will share it to their community, their friends, and even their families. Okay, and that is my idea about the healthy Web3 game.
Okay, thank you, Raphael. So here is a question for Steven. So as a person that who has been building some gaming projects already, and currently you also building Archer Hunter. So what do you think a sustainable and healthy games looks like?
Yeah, sure thing. So, for me, a healthy games in Web3 must have the IP to protect the interest of studio as well as game creator. So IPs must obtain as well as submitted and proof. Yeah, and it's necessary to ensure that the games operational data throughput is properly applied to the Web3. So I guess because we can look back in the 2024, I saw many Web3 games projects announcing they would release some projects with narrative is the fully on-chain games, right? But in my opinion, it is a bit difficult to implement. It will negatively affect the user experience and also go against the goal of connecting traditional game and Web3 games. Yeah. Besides that, to ensure the performance of traditional game when applied to the Web3 for is to develop healthily. It's necessary to better clearly deep dive the off-chain and the on-chain flow in the in-games. At Nika, we built the Nika OS using and we apply using the ZK database to have the traditional game studio when the on-chain without a factoring core game as well as the game performance. By setting using ZK database to get the ZKB of the data and provable data, enabling the on-chain gaming without recording the entire dataset on the blockchain also. And addition, so AAA games for me are not priorities in this stage of Web3 gaming. That's my opinion, because I think the games need to ensure that they have the quality game content, and before we want to onboard the AAA games. I quite prefer the casual and hyper casual games, but with a lot of game content. Like Treasure Hunter, we focus a lot of game content and deep dive for the core game and game mechanism. And we have so many plans to design the character like Seiyan, Pepe, and so make it more interactive for the Web3 user. And we want to close the timeline, shorten the gap between the Web3 and Web2.
Okay, thank you, Steven. I think that the game's content that you just mentioned is very important because the users is really like the game that have stories. So that would be not boring, rather than the games that just tapping like that. Okay, so let's move to the individual questions for our speakers today. So let's start with Jason from Say first. So as a high performance blockchain, maybe the fastest layer right now. So how does Sei Network contribute to creating a healthy Web3 games ecosystem?
Okay, so it's not a maybe that we are the fastest. We are the fastest.
Yes,
That's the truth.
Confirm.
Right.
Yes.
I know. And then I just say for fun. Right, anyway, so if you look at it, right, having fastest time to finality basically means that, there's basically no latency for developers and players, right? So think from a player point of view, the last thing you want is to, purchase an NFT or make a transaction, and then all you have to do is wait for that for minutes or even couple of seconds for things to go through. Whereas let's say, it's just 0.4 seconds, right? And as a developer, if you look at it from this point of view, as more transactions go through, more players will be happy, it improves their basically, experience. And at the same time, you are able to monetize more, right? You get more players playing your game. You have lesser, technical issues. You're able to support a bigger load. So in terms of tech wise, I feel that I personally believe that, Sei is able to support, our developers and also the players from all these aspects, right? I think this is basically the fundamental of how, a chain should do, or a chain should be able to perform when it comes to games, right? Look at it from this point of view. I believe most of you guys play games, right? If your game lag for 1 minute, can you take it? I mean, the answer is most likely no, right? If you ask me to delay my game for 10 seconds, trust me, I was screaming at the game, I was screaming at the developer, I'm like, guys, this is not working out. So, I mean, one thing we all must understand is that players, we are all very frustrated when, we want to play games that's able to move fast. And that's the reason why, if you look at internet, right, things are moving faster and faster, things are performing faster and faster as well. So, speed really matters, Of course, I think that's the most important. I think gas fee wise, there's nothing much to talk about, right? Because everybody right now, is promoting that they have low gas fee and all, everybody's more or less the same, right? But in terms of speed and all, and of course, experience, which is not so much in tech, I would say that Sei definitely have it all when it comes to gaming. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Jason. When you guys play a casual game, you will not see the advantage of a fast network. But when you play a really heavy games, for example, like Attract Hunter will be in very perfect example. And that's also the reason why we choose Sei Network to build on, because Sei Network can meet because they can meet the infrastructure that are very fast and can process our transactions immediately. Okay, so the next questions will be for Garfield from GameFi.org. So these questions will be related to the community, very important factors in a GameFi project. So how can communities contribute to the development of the games? For example, like by creating the user-generated content or hosting the in-game event, for example, like that. So what is your strategy on building a community?
Okay, so as I mentioned before, like the UGC things are like, so when you've been like in the market long enough, or like maybe you're trying to build a project long enough to like maybe you will like also understand that the practice that um the meaning of like engagement with the community. And so the thing is the core of creating the engagement comes from two key aspects in my like personal opinion. It's about the benefit and the support for the community. And these qualities like don't come from like tools or like services. So for example, for the beneficial things, we have a tool like a project. For example, the mission, like is where the players, the users can like participate in the mission, and they receive the reward. So this is how you create the tangible value that keeps the players coming back, and they feel like their participation is meaningful. So about the supportive aspect, and this come from the policy, and such as how you show how you care and the resolve the issues for the community. For example, when like talking to Launchpad, we always try to apply most of our ideal with the refund policies that we're trying to will help to protect the users' fund. Um, because they can this way they can feel like safe and they are free to take part in the ideal without like thinking too much, because we would like always trying to do our best to like do the other work for them. Like we're trying to DD the project, we're trying to marketing do the marketing for them, and we're trying to close our best deal for the our community. So like this way, the users will feel like they're being heard, being protected, and we're trying to listen our to our users like most of the time, and they will feel like they'll be a part of the ecosystem that ready to support them. And once you understand and they implement the beneficial and like the supportive engagement, like no matter what like methods you use, the community will stay with you. And this is the approach that has like helped the GameFi.org. Like we maintain the more than 1 million users in app like during the bear market since like 2022 until now. And with the standout users like the legend and the sticking users, like the core users, they will like return when we start like everything else, because they see the value and the support offered by the platform. And because no one can deny that the community are the key of the success of like Web3 games, especially like the Web3 game. And as the decentralized ecosystem thrive on the player contributions, and as you mentioned, like how they can make the how the users can make the impact to the platform. For example, UZC, like they can like host the in-game events, or maybe like we could create the community run marketplace where like the players contribute to the economy by creating and like create trading the unique item that they create, and like organize the some like for example NFT drops. Um, and by empowering the players to the power to shape the game, we as the developers enhance the engagement, creativity, and a strong sense of ownership. and all of this thing like result in a game that continuously involve with like their community, and that's my idea.
Okay, thank you, Garfield. So I think that GameFi is a truly very strong and successful community building projects, and this is a really like good case studies for the developers to look at GameFi communities during the bear market. They still very successful in growing the users. Okay, so we can move on the next questions for like Tamer. So, hi Tamer, I know that you had many success with the Web3 gamings as you have shared in the previous. So, currently, for your position at Kima Network, so how do you think that Kima Network can support for the development of the healthy economics in the Web3 gaming landscape?
So thank you again for an interesting question. I think that Kima is basically the moment positions to be currently the only infrastructure project in the industry who can provide true interoperability between any gaming console, for example, and any mobile gaming account that you have on your devices and the blockchain. At the moment, the only seamless integration that can be done, for example, between PlayStation Network and Xbox Live account to a Solana wallet or a Polygon wallet or a whatever wallet is through Kima. Then same goes for your Apple player account and your Google player account. We're the only ones who can connect directly any blockchain wallet to any gamer account that is centralized. So imagine that you're playing any one of your games at the moment on your PlayStation, Xbox, or on your mobile device, and you can basically mint the achievements that you have in terms of, I don't know, your loot, your armor, your bow, your character, your whatever, directly into a blockchain from within the game, without having your wallet, without having any wallet in the platform itself, by using your native original wallet. This is something at the moment that can be done only with Kima, because we're enabling, because of the unique operation of the app chain that we've created, the Kima network can basically do this connection with an API and an SDK to any gamer account that you'd like. So we are actually bringing, we are truly bridging and importing, let's say, the Web3 gaming experience into the Web2 world. Now, I hate to say in all of this, onboarding the next 1 billion users into blockchain, but the next 1 billion blockchain users will be basically imported because they are just using something and have no idea that they're using a blockchain. That's why it will work. They're exactly like the social media revolution. To those of you old enough like me to remember, we did not call it Web 2 back in the day, right? The internet used to be a read-only. So content was managed and owned by the big players in the industry, CNN, Yahoo, America Online, Alta Vista, and the rest. Enterprises would create the content and you couldn't say nothing about it. You can only read the content. And then the social media revolution came. Users are not only reading the content on the internet, they're actually creating content on the internet. They're creators of content. And it became from read only to read write. And then we realized that we are basically inventing a new internet all over again with blockchain, and which we call today Web3, which basically brought us to the era of read, write, own. So you not only have allowance to read and write content, you're actually the owner of it. Now, the Web 2 revolution was made because people didn't need to be developers anymore in order to create their blogs, to host videos, to write something on this internet thing. basically companies like YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and the rest told you, hey, give us an email and a password, and here you go. You have your own tiny cool page where you can basically now write and share photos and images and videos and whatnots, and you don't need to be a developer to do so, and your voice can be heard and found on the internet. Same thing needs to go to happen with the blockchain and with digital asset ownership. The user's experience should be like completely stupid and idiotic. They shouldn't know anything about blockchain, decentralization, wallets, and bridging. They shouldn't. They should just connect a game, play a game, find a sword, and know that they can sell this sword in a marketplace somewhere and send it to someone and get it from someone else. And that the money that they buy with their hard-earned cash that they buy in-game will not be stuck only forever and dead in their virtual in-game currency account. It will be basically liquid, and they can swap it tomorrow to some other game currency and to some other asset in another game, or to buy a car with it, or a land with it, or an NFT with it, or Ethereum or Bitcoin with it. But it will become something that is like very common to everyone, that your digital stuff is actually your stuff just because it is. Like, you don't need to know how HTTPS works. You just know that when you enter a website, you know that the communication is being secured, and basically encrypted. You don't know what encryption is. You don't use encryptor, decryptor. You don't know, but you just know with HTTPS, it's fine. It's secured. You see a tiny lock. The same experience should be with blockchain. But when we will get there, I'm sure that we're going to explode with innovation, and the industry, is going to be very mature, and users will be able to understand why it's important to own their own digital stuff. And Kima is at the moment again I say at the moment, because we do not know anyone else who has our technology or something similar, even remotely to what we're doing. We're the only ones who can basically unite Web 2 and Web 3 and just make it web. So, yeah, I believe that that's how we can contribute to the gaming ecosystem.
Okay, thanks, Tomer, for a really clear and I think a really satisfying thing after listening to your answer. I know that we have go through many questions, and I still have the last one questions before ending today's AMA. And this question is really like serious problem for a GameFi startups, because they don't know how to find the solutions. So there is no denying that the community engagement plays a very important role in the health of a Web3 games or projects. So based on your own personal experience, how do you guys ensure the long-term communities of a Web3 games in case of there is many projects in the market right now? So how can you guys keep your community loyal and engagement? Yeah. I think we can go ahead with Jason first, and then we can go with Gafu, Steven, and last will be Tomer. Okay, Steven? I'm sorry, Jason.
All right. So my point of view is that we need things to keep up together, right? So what are the things? Simple, right? Whether is it like, tournaments, or whether is it like, content creation, kind of activation, that kind of stuff, right? It's going to be things that will keep the community together, right? I think the most important thing here is that, we try not to fight about each other. We try not to fight with each other game. As a whole ecosystem, what we want to do is we want to build an economy whereby, all the games within Say, will support each other. Whether is it, when I talk about, marketing, where is resources sharing and stuff like that. I know for some games or some partners out there, they're pretty selfish when it comes to, this kind of resources sharing. But, as Say right now, what we're doing is that we are very open, right? Whenever we have a new tech, or should I say like a new infra, or even like an AA wallet per se, right? That's on Telegram. We share this technology with everybody else, and we ease the integration, with all of them. And in order to keep all this community together, right? Whether is it like developers or whether is it the gamers, this need to be done, right? Nobody should in the company or nobody in the ecosystem should be, selfish, if I put it this way. I think that's the most important thing to keep the community together. At the same time, if you look at recently, Solana Breakpoint, right? I think the event is very well done. Why? Because they are able to do it in a case whereby, they are forcing majority of our projects to front face, right? And it basically shows that, it's a whole ecosystem initiative together and not saying that, they are, doing on its own, right? And the community is willing to do that. So keeping the community active, keeping it engaged, with all upcoming plans, sharing resources and all. I believe this is, how I personally see, an ecosystem should be, sustained in the long term with like the viability you're talking about, right? Especially when the ecosystem is always changing, like you mentioned, right? Things are always like upgrading and changing. Everybody's improving. So in order to keep up, someone figure things out. We share it across the board. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. Gaffel, can you share something about the community engagement and loyalty?
All right. So my personal idea, it's like actually depends on how a project evolves over time. Because like the sustained innovation and adaptation are like the key factors. If the project themselves can like keep innovating and adapting to the new trends and like user preference in the GameFi space, it has the potential to remain the relevant and the influential. Like for example, regular updates, new features, like improvements based on like their users' feedback will be like one of the essential for the long term success. However, like if they fail to like evolve or like address the new challenges, it risks become the stagnant. In such a like fast moving market, like the crypto, the Web3 space, a lack of innovation like can lead to a decline in interest, potentially like making the project loss the initial appeal. So the future of the GameFi as a whole will rely on the development of a more complex and the engaging games that provide the value beyond just like the token speculation. For the GameFi to being more like interests. The projects need to focus on the sustainability, building the ecosystem that offer the real utility, and like retain the users over time. Additionally, the industry should move like beyond the simple, for example, click to earn models, or like explore the more innovative like gameplay mechanics or like token economics. Lastly, the competitive landscape matters. Continue the differentiation from the competitors and unique value proposition will help them to stand out the market, stand out the same like aspect. And if it offers like something like distinct that competitors don't have, it could like maintain a leading position, a good position for them when like comparing to other project. However, the intense competition and the emergence of new innovative projects could like overshadow themselves. And if it fails to keep the competitive edge, it might like become less relevant as the new trends or like new projects trying to emerge to stand on the line. So the bottom line is that the long-term success of a project and the broader GameFi market will depend on their ability to evolve and offering some of the meaningful experience beyond like the money making opportunity to our users. That's all.
Okay. Thanks for your answer, Gaffel. So, actually, we will have one more questions, but because the time is not enough, so we can stop the AMA today, and we will let the best part on the next AMA episode. So, thank you everyone who participate in today's AMA, and we have a very great, like nearly 1 hour of conversations. I hope that you guys can find the discussions informative and insightful. A special thanks from our guest from Kima Network, Sei Network, GameFi.org, and Archer Hunter for sharing a very valuable insight. So if you guys have any further questions or would like to learn more about our projects, please visit and follow our website or social site. We are looking forward to see you in the next AMA. Do you have any last thing to share with the communities from the speakers?
Just to wrap up, again, thank you all for having us today. It was really fun to have this fruitful discussion. Thank you all for having us and for sharing your opinions. To those of you in the audience, about our friends, may or may not know, Akima was supposed to have a TGE soon. We might delay it a bit, a week or two, until the markets will stabilize a little bit more. We're waiting for some stabilization for the TGE. After all, we've been building it for over 3 years, this solution, and looking for the right time to launch it. So wishing happy markets and stable markets to everyone, and looking forward to seeing everyone on the next spaces here or at our space. Thank you.
Yes. Kima Network have a very important milestones, and please follow Kima Network's social site to update their upcoming TGE, a very important milestone in any projects life cycle. How about Gaffel, Stevens, and Jason?
So like I really appreciate for like every participations and you guys for like being here. And we Game Fighter RG are trying to bring the launchpad and the ideal things back to on the road, because since then the launchpad are not like being attended like it used to be, and we're trying to reach back our top tier launchpad, and we will try to bring the ideal back to the trend of the market. And I hope you guys will like be a part of us, be a part of the journey. So if you guys want to know more about Game Fighter, please follow our social, be a part of our community. Thank you very much.
Okay, Jason, do you have anything to share?
I would say just keep a lookout on the upcoming games that's coming on Say. Like we have already acquired more than, sorry, I would say acquired. We have just partnered with more than 20 game studios, and there's going to be more coming out as well. Yeah, just keep a lookout for the upcoming games that we have. And then of course right now, we have the, gaming creator fund going on, so many creators, out there, participating in the gaming round, it really warms us, right? The community, the team internally, we are already happy that, we have so many, individuals that are so excited about, the creator fund, in particular for gaming. I guess that's the most number we have ever obtained so far. So it just shows that there's actually a lot of interest, when it comes to gaming on Say, right? So yeah, just keep a lookout on, not just the games, but also the creators out there that's going to be talking about the games on Say.
Okay, so finally, thanks you guys, all of the guests and the participants today in this AMA. So see you guys in the next upcoming AMA. Thank you. Bye bye.